Good afternoon. I'm Lyubov Kirillova, and I represent the Severny Necklace Tourism Bureau from Vladimir city. We would like to welcome you to the Vladimirskaya Oblast or Vladimir region web resource, which is very rich in terms of cultural heritage, the so-called smaller golden ring of Russia. I would like to start with the following. What is the general outlook of Vladimir Oblast? Despite the fact that Vladimir Oblast is far away from India, we used to have connections with your country because in the colonial times we had Indian goods via English companies, and our goods also turned up in India like Russian flags. But speaking about cultural connections, we are also united. India and our origin is Nikolai Rurik. He was very much interested in his motherland, Vladimir Oblast, but he also contributed to the preservation of the cultural and historical heritage of Hindustan, and you know his name well, and we also know him well. But what could we offer to you in Vladimir Oblast? We have the so-called name Smaller Golden Ring of Russia, including the historical towns of Vladimir Oblast that trace back to the 9th and the 12th centuries. Let's start with Vladimir city first, the capital city of the region. Vladimir is a place that has a few monuments or white stone churches of the 12th century. There are only 10 in Russia, and 3 are being located in Vladimir. The Dormition Cathedral, that used to be the main, our country, the main cathedral of Russia, where the indoctrination for great Tsarhood took place. The Golden Gates is the only gate that is tracing back to the 12th century, and part of Andrei Bogolyubov, prince's resident, that raised Vladimir and turned into the capital of Russia. Not far away from Bogolyubovo, there is the Pokrova-na-Nerli church on the right slide, and it's a very famous church. What could we offer to you in Vladimir? Vladimir is pretty rich in museums, and since ancient times, since Upper Paleolite times, and we have lots of interactive programs that could be a part of your itinerary. Suzdal is a pearl of the golden ring and smaller and bigger golden ring of Russia. It represents various architectural monuments of the 12th century, 11th century. This is a town of museum, a town fairy tale that could offer to visitors many itineraries related to crafts of Vladimir Oblast, related to art, to history, and up until Russian Troika rides, and if it's spring or summer, there are geese fights and many other different entertainments that may be interesting for our foreign guests. Another town which is the oldest in the smaller golden ring is Murom. He is firstly mentioned in the 9th century. This is a town, a birthplace of a Russian knight Ilya Muromets, and he has wonderful architecture of the 16th, 17th, 18th centuries, and where you could see monuments, monasteries, churches, cathedrals related to such famous Russian managers of the state as Ivan the Terrible, as well as the civil architecture monuments, including the water tower, a pride of Murom, and a bridge spanning the Oka River that is called the most beautiful bridge in Russia. Another bridge, another city or town in Vladimir district or oblast is Alexandrov, is the Russian Versailles, or the residence of Russian czars in the 16th, 17th century. It has a lot of architecture of those times and richest history that we could see. Ivan the Terrible was there, and for 17 years he reigned the country from Alexandrov. And this town itself and Alexandrovskaya Sloboda, which is a monastery, could offer you a lot of attractions. It's very individual, very special, and you can see traditions like selection of a Tsar bride, you can taste Russian pancakes, honey, and Russian kvass, which is Russian cola, but it's very useful for the health. There is a very good art museum there as well, and a museum of Soviet arcade machines. You can play there for free. And Pervushin Museum in Alexandrov is an art museum, may be interesting for you. The next town that is important for us is Gorokhovets. It borders the Nizhny Novgorod Oblast. This is a town which has the same years as Moscow. A lot of events took place there related to the protection of Vladimirskaya Oblast in the 13th, 14th, and 15th century. Gorokhovets has unique architecture related to civil engineering. Basically, there are 20 merchant houses in Russia only, which are interesting in terms of architecture and history. And speaking about the vast size of Russia, out of those 20 architectural milestones, 7 are located in Gorokhovets town. Gora means a mount, and that's this city or town stays on a few mounds. That's why, or on 7 hills, and it stays on hills, and there are lots of churches there too. Owing to them, you can have a very good aspect on that town. There is an amazing town that you probably heard of, is Goose Krustalny, which means crystal goose. It was a big glass factory and a settlement, and that glass factory was founded in the 18th century, in 1781. And this is a center of our crystal production in Russia. And not only in Russia, it was exported too. They supplied to the Tsar court. And that town has industrial architecture as well as George's Cathedral, built by a famous Russian architect Benoit. The next town, which relates not only to the smaller Golden Ring, it relates to the greater Golden Ring, which has been known for 50 years now. It is Yuriev-Polsky. Since the 12th century, it has been tracing its history, and it has a building which was constructed at that time. This is St. George's Cathedral with a lot of carving representing the latest architecture before the Golden Horde captivity of the Russian lands. And it represents a taste of Suzdal and Vladimir princes and a big imagination about the entire world. And we also have a lot of various handicrafts that we are famous of. What could our craftsmen do? Since ancient times, the Argonov carving was very popular. Local craftsmen could work with birch's skin, making different pieces there, and Vladimir paintings that is made on wooden goods, as well as Vladimir horn. In the 19th century, the chorus of Vladimir horn players amazed the entire Paris for a week. And the Figaro newspaper was writing about Russian horn players for a week. Vladimir craftsmen could do many other things of folk crafts. Mstera sewing, patchwork, Mstera lacquer boxes that were very popular in the Soviet times and now. And Vladimir by itself is a symbol of the golden ring root. Starts from Vladimir. Vladimir used to be a big capital city for Suzdal and Vladimir Principality, including Sergiev Posad, Pereslav-Zalesky, Rostov, Kostroma, and Yaroslavl. So it was quite a big principality. And we are offering to our guests various itineraries across the golden ring of Russia, for which has been explored for 50 years now. And let's take a look at one of the options. We meet and greet people in the capital of the Soviet Union, Moscow. Moscow is a part of the Golden Ring, and Moscow has always been popular with foreign and international visitors. I'm not going to read out loud what is shown on this slide. You can see it yourself. But let's just stop on some points that I would like to highlight. This is visiting of towns where the architecture is dating back to 16th century and younger. After Moscow, we are going to Vladimir to take a look at those, pieces of interest. You cannot imagine Golden Ring without Suzdal town. Suzdal is the world renowned heritage of UNESCO, and it's a must. After Suzdal, we could go to Kostroma town or Yaroslavl, Rostov, Pereslavl, and to finish off in Sergiev Posad. The contents of the tour may differ, and one of the options is about visiting a moose farm that are probably very rare in India. And also, we could take a look at Golden Ring masterpieces. Everyone is trying to do that who ever heard anything about Russia. This is the most Russian-like tour that has been known for the world for 50 years now, and it's worth it. Shukriya. Distinguished colleagues, I am happy to welcome all the foreign participants. I am Tatiana Savelyeva. I am head of the biggest hotel alliance of Vladimir Oblast that has 4 hotels. 2 are being located in Suzdal, 1 in Vladimir, and 1 in Vladimir Oblast. This is a big enterprise that has a chance to work not only domestically, but go into outer markets too, offering our facilities to international visitors. Today, we are going to talk about Suzdal. Suzdal is a unique place that is gonna celebrate its 1000th year anniversary in 2024. And we are proud that this wonderful town has 2 our hotels. It's big 1000 room hotels that could house 1000 and more visitors at the same time. 2 hotels are called Pushkarskaya Sloboda and the main tourist complex of Suzdal. The hotel has 5 restaurants, various sports facilities, leisure places. All the infrastructure is for any category of tourists. And today we will be able to take a look at our places. So let's list the slides. Suzdal is a unique place, even in terms of cultural heritage. Suzdal is a small settlement, but it's unique. We only have 10,000 residents, but for such a small territory as Suzdal, we have more than 30 churches that operate, 5 monasteries, and we preserve cultural heritage here. We all know that Suzdal is a town, a sacred town for us, because Christianity in Russia was very, how to say, hard to adopt in Russia. And Suzdal still have pagan traditions that are not gone. We always can see such interesting events like Ivan Kupala holiday. We have a cult of honey. We have honey weddings, and those traditions are preserved carefully in Suzdal, and visitors could enjoy them too and feel it here. Suzdal has 26 UNESCO sites. If you take a look on the slide, you can see the Nativity Church. This is 12th century. It's located in the Suzdal Kremlin, and this is a picture showing it. Here we can see a Kremlin chamber, the Archbishop's chamber. This facility was built in the 15th, 18th century, and this is the picture. The Spas Yefimyevsky Monastery is a unique museum heritage complex showing the troublesome Russian history. This is the church where czars were praying for the whole Russia. Suzdal was the starting point where Russia was born. The Boris and Gleb church in Kidiksha settlement, the oldest white building in the northwest of Russia. This is the church that is in a good condition today. Andrei Bogolubsky Palace is a monument that we preserve carefully. Andrei Bogolubsky Palace is a monument of the 12th century. The Pokrova on the Nerl church. the 12th century church, which is not the ideal Russian church, but is one of the greatest world listed monuments. The Assumption Cathedral, unique church of the 12th century. We have Andrei Rublev's frescoes here. And here we also have more than 14 Russian saints, including Andrei Bogolubsky. The church for us is a saint thing that we preserve. The Golden Gates, 12th century. We only have such gates in Vladimir, but such gates also were in Kiev. The Dmitrievsky Cathedral, it has lots of carvings on it. It is called the Precious Treasure, again built in the 12th century, white stone masonry. Speaking about our hotels, the biggest hotel which is in Suzdal and could have up to 1,000 residents at the same time, is the main touristic complex of Suzdal. Very good logistics. 145 high-speed train, 145 minutes from Vladimir to Moscow, and then you will find yourself in Suzdal. This hotel could have up to 1,000 guests simultaneously. As I said before, this is a place with 5 restaurants, again up to 1,000 persons. This is a unique facility. It has been there for 40 years now, from the Soviet Union and the world. It has received guests. And no strange it is, this year we have surpassed the number of foreign visitors, including Indians. 4% of the entire people who stay at us. Pushkarskaya Sloboda hotel complex. It's another hotel that we have that is staying on the Kamenka river bank, and this hotel is a 4+ hotel, and we could offer accommodation for 350 visitors at the same time. We have various rooms for restaurants that would just welcome you with Indian cuisine. The interesting fact is that Indian food has been developed here at that hotel, so we would be happy to welcome you to our wonderful hotel. And another hotel which is worth mentioning, it's called Voznesenskaya Sloboda. It is a park hotel located in Vladimir city. It's a smaller scale hotel to house up to 150 people at the same time. It is in the very downtown of Vladimir's town, next to white stone masonry monuments. And you're kindly invited. Our hotels hold conferences. One of the famous guests is Dr. Soma, that had more than 10 conferences and attended by Indian visitors too. What else is worth mentioning about our facilities? Actually, Indian visitors are coming over to us quite often, and the overall percentage of Indian guests is now 4% of the entire population of our hotel. Suzdal preserves and stays the leader of the domestic and international tourism, and event tourism is coming. The town has been changing its marketing strategy. We are becoming a holiday town. We poach in the good way the good European strategies and traditions, where towns like Arles, Krakow, neither have become good atmospheric towns, holiday towns, to host a big number of events. Suzdal is trying to do the same, and we are now developing the same marketing strategy. The plan is to make it a holiday town, to hold everything every weekend, a certain event for every Saturday and Sunday, and that's what we have been talking about now. Suzdal has more than 100 events per year. This is the Russian Pancake Week, New Year, Christmas, Ivan Kupala, a Gherkin holiday, the Medovukha or Honey Beer holiday, and others that attract hundreds and thousands of people, including international guests. Our town has been developing this type of thing, and actually we expect to have we expect to simplify a visa regime with Indian partners and visitors, and we hope that the simplification of the visa regime would increase the number of Indian comrades coming to the Soviet Union, including Suzdal. We think and hope and have been working hard with Indians to make a twin city, Suzdal, to Indian towns and cities, and the plan is to have an Indian festival in Suzdal, and you're kindly invited to visit it and invite Indian tour operators to attend. We would like to involve young Indians into our projects. We have a lot of entertainment programs, tourist programs earmarked for expanding and promoting Russian culture among Indian youth and Russian language too. We would like to have a cultural exchange program that would also be delivered to our Indian tour operators. Suzdal town is Suzdal has a cult of honey, and that's why we have a lot of interest to beer-based drinks and products that we also could promote in the Indian market. This is honey. This is honey beer and honey drinks and candies that are popular in Suzdal, like honey-made products. We hope that Indian tour operators would be active in considering our platforms to include them into your tourist products, and our facilities would be very interesting for you. I'm finished. All the best, and asvidam.
Hello everyone, my name is Angelika. I represent My Travel Group, and what we do is welcoming tourists from Russia and abroad, and what I do is working at the department which welcomes international tourists. Let me tell you a few words about our company. My Travel Group was established in 1994. We turned 26. We are an experienced company, and we are glad to provide you a full range of travel services such as accommodation, transport and guide services, complete travel packages, guides and interpreters. We also have available programs for specific requests. We also do MICE tourism, and among our partners we have financial, construction, industrial or political organizations, and we welcome more than 30,000 tourists in our land. My travel group was recognized as the best tourist group in the Vladimir region and has a lot of Russian and international awards. We work in all the cities of Russia, but our main specialty is the Golden Ring of Russia. This is Sergiev Posad, Pereslavl-Zalesky, Kostroma, Ivanovo, Suzdal, and Vladimir, as well as Uglitch, Plus, and Mishkin. Each of those towns is a gem of Russia and an important historical site of our country. Our towns were attacked by the enemy many times, but every time they were able to recover and become even more beautiful and stronger. Different Tsars lived here, such as Vladimir Monomarch, Peter the Great, Ivan the Terrible, and many other Tsars of Russia. It is in these cities that true history came into effect. You can see some masterpieces of white stone sculpture. You can see the beauty of provincial Russia and see the lifestyle of ordinary people, as well as participate in many festivals and events. You can do also some individual events upon request. Other colleagues already told you about the honey festival and the cucumber festival, so we have a lot of different events. Our main advantage is the service quality, accommodation and transport, service level. We have 3 or 4-star hotels which are very good and they have comfortable accommodation options and they have a convenient location, they have a great service and infrastructure. They also have restaurants. Only experienced guides and interpreter guides work at our company. You can have a tour in almost any language. Upon request, there are different options of languages. We only work on comfortable buses or coaches that you can see on this picture. It might be minibuses, microbuses. Our drivers are also very experienced. They are true professionals. We are a team of professionals that love their job, that love their country and its history. We have a lot of experience in the tourist sector, and we will do everything possible to make your journey unforgettable. You will be able to assess the quality of your vacation. And that's it for me. Thank you very much. You can see the contact details on the slide, so please get in touch with me. I will be happy to answer any of your questions.
Good day. Welcome to Red Russian Expo Days. My name is John Yanis Kapiski, and hopefully in the next 20 days I will be able to project to you what you may experience in our family-owned and operated agricultural touristic complex. I'm very grateful to my 3 colleagues who went earlier because no doubt you have already seen the richness that we can provide in Vladimir Oblast. It is intensely rich with historical places to see, museums, and very rich in culture. As simple as it may seem for me now to explain to you what we have to offer, it is rather difficult because we also wish to sell emotion. We feel we offer to our guests a very individual experience from which they, the guests, are able to feel and understand more about Russia, our history, culture, the very important Russian spirit and soul, heritage, and of course its vastness. In this sense, we think they were very different from some of our other colleagues. I'm waiting. We're a family-run business, operated. We live on the complex. And we always take the time to meet, converse, and definitely encourage interesting dialogues and exchanges of points of view with our guests over tea, herbal from the local fields or from the south of Russia, or with something stronger after sundown as appropriate for individual needs of our guests. Here you will not be hassled for running from place to place with great importance. Here we do not try to sell you souvenirs. What we are trying to do is let you leave Russia with an intense feeling of what we have to offer. We have been operating. My slide we have been operating in the tourist business now already for 7 years. And in this process, we decided to offer our guests more than the standard, may I say, mass tour of Russian guests between several cities, looking at lots of wonderful, beautiful churches and museums. We wish to offer a home base from which guests can visit all these wonderful sites that you've seen here. If guests wish to stay with us overnight or for 5 or 6 days, they can. And from here, we will arrange those individual tours. If guests wish to stay for days, for instance, in Vladimir and other places, we have our partners, as you have heard recently, and other hotels where you can stay. But our aim is to produce a base where a guest from here can spend a day going to a place and then coming back home. Not only can we from here visit all the places that have been mentioned to you, we have places very close to us in our area. So therefore, our main aim, apart from the emotion, is that when our guests leave, we want to have given them and whetted their appetites and emotions so much that they wish to return and learn more about our culture and our lives and how we are now seceding also as a new nation in our tourism. Our tourism can be two. You can stay with us, or it can also be transit. Next slide, Prajasta. What is this? Personally, I lived on the Indian subcontinent for 7 years, and lots of my emotions today, I think I still carry from that period. And I personally believe that between the Indian and Russian cultures, we have much in similar, not just the value of family and tradition and culture, but if you look at these slides now, it's also of our art architecture. We are a nation of emotion, and I think this is something that when people come here, we wish to see that Russians are very emotional, and we want to destroy that image. We're a country that has over 175 ethnic groups. This is 175 ethnic groups. And to understand Russia, one has to understand this richness and how eclectic we have become to live peacefully in this vast land. Again, I say our aim is to tease your appetites, to show that there is so much to see and appreciate in Russia. We're a warm people, open to all races, creeds, and creeds. Our tourism, again, was based on agro-tourism because we are not city-based. And for the basis of this agro-tourism, we decided that the center of this must be our own home, on-farm grown products. And the epicenter of our activity is our dairy farm. This is 30 kilometers to the north. There we farm on 10,000 hectares of land. We produce our own foods and forage for 4,000 cows. Every day we have 50,000 liters of milk. And on this milk, we also process. On our agricultural complex, we have our own cheesery, our own dairy, and we also process our own meats. And therefore, when guests come here, they have a possibility to also see farming industrial complex, as well as our chorizo, how we make our cheese, etc., and of course, taste it. The dairy farm we have, you can visit. We are one of the leaders in Russia. In actual fact, our dairy farm was the first modern farm to be built in Russia. Here you will see some of our products that you can sample. We have very tasty, in my opinion, kefir and yogurt, very similar to your kefir and yogurt you have in India. All our products are handmade, and we're very proud of this. We're one of the largest private cheeseries that we have in Russia. As I mentioned, the tourist business was started 7 years ago, but in reality, the basis of the touristic complex what we have today is an old Russian dairy farm where we now make our tourism. The hotel is, which you see now on this picture, it contains 19 rooms, of course, all with showers and WC. It can accommodate either 19 single guests or 19 families. And in fact, there are some rooms where there are 2 rooms attached where if you have children, your children can sleep attached to this. The hotel design is very much based on an old Russian home. The design of the architecture is called a fliegel, and inside we have tried to make it feel as though you are at home. Our motto is in Russian would be Nash dom, vash dom, which means our house, your house. The gardens, the hotel, which you can see on the right here with the green building, is situated in very well landscaped lands where you can also relax in the evening, have a sundowner, gin and tonic, or a cup of tea. The bedrooms are all individually tailored, all different designs. And as you see from this one, there is an additional bedroom here even for a child. So some bedrooms have accommodation for 3, but the idea is to make you feel very much at home. I mentioned earlier that Russia is a country of over 175 ethnic groups, and therefore we have a very vast kitchen. In Russian, I say kitchen, but in actual fact, it's food that we eat. Of course, we would like that our guests are tempted to sample Russian foods, but because the tastes are so varying, we also have our own Russian cook who is actually specialized in Indian cooking, particularly on the basis of the fact that I'm very much like a Vindaloo myself, and therefore he is our home cook. And therefore it's your choice whether you wish to favor our Russian cooking or Indian cooking. Now, apart from hospitality and feeling at home, what to do while you're here as our guests and how to entertain you. Firstly, what you can do on the complex. For adults, it's my impression and our impression that guests from India require more than perhaps just the tour from one place to another place, looking at one more very, very old church and another. Our aim, again, I stress, is to induce our guests to also enjoy their holiday and enjoy some Russian hospitality and also relax with us. Therefore, on the complex, guests can be kept busy or relaxed by simply walking the complex and understanding who we are. Russians basically come from the land. We love the countryside. You can walk the stables, you can walk through the country farm place where we have lots of country animals. You can see how we work, the lands nearby. Maybe you can be tempted also to ride on a horse. We also have a collection of carriages with a center of redevelopment of the Russian Troika, which is a very special ensemble of horses, 3 in a row. And these carriages you can take rides on. We can take you rides through the forest. You can have picnics on the water meadows. And you can also see, as on this photograph, see demonstrations of Russian riding. Next one. Here we also can give you photo shoots where we can take you onto our water meadows adjoining, and you can understand also some of Russian culture and take back to India some wonderful photographs of how you lived while you were with us in Russia. You can also, again, have photo shoots in our on-complex country house museum. There is also the possibility, you're not going to come here in the snow, but if you do, I can tell you winter in Russia is wonderful. We can wrap you up warm. Next photo. Here we have a group of guests having a forest in the picnic. It's all very safe. We're in one of the highest ecological areas in our oblast. Again, here's a view from our hotel across to the local church. Another winter scene is coming for you now. Here are a collection of our horses, which you can also see. Next slide. Here is our country house museum, where again you can have your costumes and you can have photographs so that you can take some memories back to Russia. These are all guests of ours in their costumes, having their photographs taken. We have our own, go back a one, we have our own local musicians. So if you wish to savor some Russian music, very traditional, you can also please partake of that. It's all part of our hospitality. Here again is our in-house accordionist. If you wish, we can give you the words and you can join us also singing in Russia. Our aim is that our guests leave here with a feel of Russia. A few slides here you will see now again of the costumes that our guests partake in. Yes, sure, this is on the horses. This is now the next step. If we go back one, is if you arrive here with your children, what can we do with them? And one of our aims, of course, is to help them relax. And if we can help them relax, we can help you relax. So therefore, children that come with us can be accompanied by one of our senior ladies as a guide. They can simply walk the farm. They can see the horses again and ride some horses, or they can paint Russian wooden dolls with our master. We can give them Russian pastry sculpture. They can have farm animals, or we can take them to an area where they can play traditional Russian garden games. Our aim is to keep the whole family and all our guests entertained whilst they are on the complex. Here you will see the slide of a young lady painting a Russian doll, which of course is a very nice memory to take back home with you. As far as where we are based on the main highway between Moscow and Vladimir. Vladimir is some 45 minutes away from us. The same transport means apply to us as to our colleagues. You can arrive to us by train or by car. And you will be in the center of also some local places of interest. We have, for instance, here you will see an island monastery where you can join us and have some monastery pies, vegetarian, and some tea, and receive more information about what really is about. We will take you into the church and not simply say how beautiful an icon is, but we can explain to you the very structure of the icon and the iconostas and why it is there. We can also, of course, do day tours from the complex. If you now look at the next slide, you will see exactly where we are. We're on the Mala Golden Ring, as we call it. And from here, we can set individual tours. We are based basically for tours from 2 people, a husband and wife, or a family, up to about 50 people. Our hotel room is 19 rooms. We welcome you to come to us. From here, you can have many journeys. You can experience Russia. And we hope that when you leave us, we can tempt you back, because our country is vast. There's so much to see and so much to understand. So I hope that you have enjoyed my words and my slideshow. I hope it was up to standard. I'm a farmer. I basically study the milk and the cheese. My wife is actually in charge of the tourism, but we're a family company, so we must all play our part. To end with now, I will show you now a small video about the farm, because for us and all our family and all our guests here, we really wish to show you something more about the emotion of being in Russia. We have English speakers on the farm, mainly all family, but which shows even more that when you get here, you're certainly going to be guests of our family. We build individual tours. We can design whatever suits your requirements. If you want to stay here and come home every day, we can take you wherever you like in the region. So I would now bid you farewell. We hope to see you. But in the meantime, I also hope that you now enjoy the video that now will be shown. So goodbye and look forward to seeing you.
Hello, I welcome the participants of our forum and our Indian guests and partners. My name is Evgeny and I represent the Taliati Center for Miniature. Well, we'll start with the beginning. We are located in the village of Mstora. It's a small village with a population of just 5,000 people. At the same time, we have a great history, about 400 years. We are located 300 kilometers away from Moscow and just 70 kilometers away from Suzdal. Our village is well known all over the world because there we have three folk trades, that is lacquer miniature, jewelry and embroidery. I represent the lacquer miniature workshop. What is it about? Our lacquer miniature is about beautiful lacquer boxes. It can be different things, it can be a panel or any other shape. As part of the box itself, or the miniature itself, there is special cardboard which is put into special oil, and then the master creates the form for this box. Once again, there can be any form. It can be a box for visit cards, a box for jewelry or bracelets, and anything. And then we keep working on the boxes, we make them very even, we get them ready for some decoration. And the third stage, the most interesting one, is when the painter uses real oil paints and real gold to create a drawing on this box. Then the box is polished and lacquered, and it becomes a real piece of art. We welcome guests. We can show master classes to them. If our guests are interested, we give them the raw materials, and our professional artists show them how a drawing can be put on a box, and our guests can try this for themselves. Furthermore, here is a panel. We would like to work together with our partners from India. We can create any drawings. We can work on demand. We can supply our traditional fairy tales or Russian stories for the Indian market. The themes can be very different. It can be a New Year theme or anything else. That's it for me. Thank you very much.